Welcome back to the channel and to the new park Who Dis contest. Each and every submission gets its own spotlight, and today we are looking at Radyr Valley by Fuero. Today I'm joined by Cockwaddle. Cockwaddle is the founder and supreme overlord of the Good Nice Planet Coaster community and one of the most popular Planco streamers on Twitch. Hello Cockwaddle.
Hello.
So lovely to have you back again. Spotlight number 3, you excited?
Absolutely over the moon with this one, yep.
This is an exciting one. So Fuero says, welcome to Radyr Valley. In the 90s, Moomin Woodenlegs was a famous kid show host, but his fame faded. Also, a scandal about tax fraud surfaced. So everybody was surprised that Woodenlegs opened a theme park on the old Radyr Valley grounds called Radyr Valley. Some of the papers wrote how he might be laundering his money, while others praised the park. So already love this story. I've seen a bit of Fuero's streams, put a lot of work into the backstory of this park, and I'm so excited to actually to
that's what I'm most excited for as well. Yeah.
Okay, as always, we'll start with the piece count, which is 25,008, almost exactly half. So very nice.
It's very impressive. Nice.
So this is Park Variation Quebec, which means we've got ourselves a Rapids, the Go-Karts, the Hellion Ring, and the Insanity. Now Fuero has gone above and beyond. He's not done one dark ride, he's done 3. So we've got ourselves a Horror Heights, we've got a traditional dark ride, and we've also got a walkthrough experience. So I mean, hats off really.
Hats off indeed, that is really impressive.
We've obviously got at least one coaster, and the Swan is still in position with secret and stop on the door, so I'm intrigued by that, but we'll come back to that very soon. And here we are down on the ground in Radyr Valley, and this is already looking fantastic. I love this entrance.
I absolutely love it. This is just already so Fuero. Like, this is such a taste of things to come with, like, the name change itself. Like,
yes.
For people who don't know Fuero already, just like get ready for an absolute assault of like puns and wordplay and stuff. And as for that pirate sign of what's he called again, Mr. Wooden Legs or something?
Moomin Woodenlegs, yeah. No idea
magical.
Where he came up with that.
Moomin, you're looking very rugged and seaworthy.
I've grown a beard. It's lovely. I completely agree. Fuero, he's so good at all of his stuff. Is just so playful and so. It's just so tongue-in-cheek and funny. I love it. I think it was actually featured in the update video, but Fuero has recorded his own...
Don't forget to leave a donation for the Wooden Legs tax funds.
His own audio all across the park, including these lovely welcome messages, including to leave a donation to the tax fund. So we'll make sure to do that.
The commitment to the lore that he's created is pretty much second to none, I think.
Yeah, he's gone all the way. And I love this entrance straight into the gift shop.
Absolutely, very retail heavy. Yeah, cynical.
It is. In we go, straight into this beautiful high street.
Indeed, that really it really commands the sightlines, doesn't it? It really boxes in what you're able to see and completely surrounds you with the really sort of intimate pirate setting. That's really well done. Really rich in detail. Yeah,
as you said, draws your eye straight down to the whirly rig at the end. I always go on about how much I adore the textures that people do to their builds just to avoid those flat, boxy builds. And like this is just expertly done. There's no boring flatness here at all. There's just so much texture.
I completely agree. I'm surprised to see the piece count be so low when we've got standard textures like this, you know, because this is really quite piece heavy. It's impressive.
Ooh, look at these windows. You can only see it in a certain light, but those I think he's used the gems there.
Oh my goodness, he has. Yeah, there's gemstone windows. Wow, he didn't need to do that.
No, I know. Again, piece count wise, that's very impressive. There it is. When it catches the light, that's really nice. So in Fuero's additional information, he did ask that we head left first and head to Pirate's Life, and then we're free to do whatever we want. So we will be doing that, but first, let's take a little look at this whirly rig called Wooden Leg World. Everything is just so on theme. He's really cementing this Moomin Wooden Leg storyline throughout, and I love it.
Yeah, I love it. It's exactly the sort of thing you could imagine at something like Chessington World of Adventures or something like that. It really commands the theme straight onto the guests from the get-go. I love it.
And just so many beautiful sight lines with the lighthouse, the Insanity in the background there.
It's a lot of
That's a shot
circular
in the sun.
motion that you can see. Yeah, you're right. Yeah.
It is,
Wow,
yeah.
that's lined up really well.
Okay, let's head down here. Further along, this town is so immersive.
I love that he has mixed the ruin pieces, like the stone block walls, with the wood. It gives that sort of kind of rundown colonial look that you should expect from a pirate thing. It's very easy to make everything look like a sort of a wooden shack when you do the pirate theme.
Yeah.
But I think mixing in a little bit of that older stone architecture is really important. And wow, what is going on in there?
I know. Just got completely sidetracked there. A carousel in the sea with the starry night sky.
A very interesting way to think that.
A pirate's life, which is what we've been asked to go on first, which is one of our 3 dark rides.
I'm excited for this. I'm turning my volume up.
I feel like we're probably going to learn some lore about now.
I think we might.
But let's do this.
Hello, mateys. It's your pal, Wooden Legs, and welcome to A Pirate's Life. A ride all about my life as a world-famous pirate. Ah, world-famous? Shh, pirate. Let's go back to the beginning, where I had my start with a cheap cardboard boat and a stuffed parrot plushie named Mr. Flopsy. For a few years, I carried local TV on my back with the Wooden Legs show and my pure, raw acting talent. And then I got noticed by the BBC and got real recognition for my talent. Ah, and you were cheap. Ah, shut it. With the BBC came a bigger budget, and I made shows directly from the SS Wooden Legs. That galleon is not a steamship. Ah! The show grew that I even played a second character named Bayou Bob. It's just you with an eye patch. But then came Captain Lockjaw's Saturday Morning Spectacular, and I was out. They went all in on his show, and I did my last episode 10 years ago. And they wanted all my money. You forgot to pay your taxes. But then I took that money and built Radyr Valley for you to all enjoy. So enjoy Radyr Valley. Please leave the car after it completely stands still.
Well, I mean, that's just, I mean, first of all, I had a smile on my face the entire way around. Like,
Yeah, I was still laughing coming off that. I loved that wasn't like a dark ride per se, and it was more like a sort of a park intro, you know, that was on tracks. So it just gave it all over to the spoken narrative, and it really let Fuero's particular sense of humor come through.
so we've already learned about Mr. Flopsy the parrot. Oh, and the introduction of Bayou Bob as well. I feel prepped now. I'm prepped for this park.
This is even better than I expected. I love this.
Okay, moving on. Looks like we've got Raging River, which I can only assume is our rapids ride. More great use of the
Rapids stuff.
ruins.
Indeed, we do love a ruin, don't we, Moomin?
Absolutely. I really love it when people do this with queues, like just completely cover over it, so you don't even really know where the path is, and it just means you can open it up like this. The guests will still do their thing, but it just makes the queue look so much more, I don't know, just something.
It's natural, and it hands it over to the theming really well. It's to be honest something I could do a lot better at, and this sort of thing's really inspiring to me because you're right. This isn't going to be a huge commercial park. It's not going to have hundreds of thousands of guests. So like this kind of slightly more lax queue structure makes a lot of sense, and it means that you just get so much more theming.
Freeform was the word I was going for. It makes the queue look much more freeform. Lovely interior section and into this station. But let's hop on.
Well, I thought that was excellent. There was so many little things that I really liked about that. For one thing, I thought the footprint was a really nice, believable structure. I think that's like the sort of ride that could be cloned out across multiple parks with that kind of footprint. But there were so many nice little moments. I thought the interaction between the first little drop and that sort of that lift that's next to it is really nice. I love that you get the little parrot on the branch hanging over at Mr. Flopsy, obviously.
Yes.
And something I've done in one of my parks, actually, the waterfall that stops as you get near it, and it just lets you get past it, and then it reactivates again. I thought that's a really nice touch, just to sort of scare the guests a little bit with a splash. Yeah, really nice and super believable, like a super believable budget ride, you know.
It's exactly what I was thinking the whole way. It just, all of it feels real. It's exactly what you expect from a real park. All these ruins would be made out of fiberglass and wood, but it's painted up to look exactly how it should and just completely immersive. So that was Raging River. Really enjoyed that. So, looks like we've got Dark Ride 2 of 3, Mr. Flopsy Story Time.
I mean, it's one thing the sort of 2D version of Mr. Flopsy, that's already funny, but the gigantic sort of googly-eyed 3D one acting like a giant cuckoo clock is next level.
And this giant nest on top is quite intimidating as well. This looks like this is going to be our Horror Heights, so excited for this. It's only the second one I've actually spotlit with a Horror Heights so far. They're so hard to do, but I've got no doubt that Fuero pulled it off. Look at this art.
Wow.
Bit of pointillism.
It is. In case people didn't know, Fuero is actually a painter in real life.
Oh, really?
So, like, yeah, he is. So you will get these little bits of sort of custom art, and that's a really nice touch.
Enjoyed that, really nice and simple. Still told a story. You got the ship on the sea, goes into a storm, gets destroyed. Can only assume that that was the SS Wooden Legs. So again, tying into the whole story of the park. I love that.
Really nice, and not an easy flat ride to theme, because it forces you to look at certain spaces, so you have to make sure each one is effective. And he's as usual with Fuero, he's done a lot with art shapes. You know, all of those were done mostly out of like semicircle pieces and stuff like that. So, which is no easy feat at all. He could have copped out and just used a bunch of screens, but I really liked that he did it 3D with custom shapes. That was really smart.
So that was Mr. Flopsy Story Time, and straight out here, my eye has been caught by this, what I assume is a ship in a bottle.
That is terrific work, and that is not an easy shape to do out of those very like square glass pieces that they give you. That's incredibly well done.
Absolutely, and that's a custom ship as well. That's not even like, isn't just shoved an in-game ship in there either.
Wow, that's really smart. What an eye-catching piece of scenery.
Yeah, great weenie, as they say.
Yeah, we have nothing but kind words to say about Fuero's weenie.
Absolutely. Moving on to Bayou Bob's Bob, which is, you might guess, a bobsled.
You do not see a lot of these.
No, you do not, so I'm quite intrigued by this. We've already been introduced to Bayou Bob in in the story time. In the words of Mr. Flopsy, that's just you with an eye patch. And here we are on the station. Let's hop on. Wow, so much to say about this. I mean, using the bobsled and the way it curves around the corner to avoid all of these crocodiles. The track length was really good for the footprint. I loved this interaction here with, I mean, what even is this? Like some kind of lizard Komodo dragon type thing. Love that. Again, using the ruin pieces. Also that the whole thing was perfectly timed to the music as well. Music ended as the coaster came back into the station. Love that.
Yeah, indeed, really, really well crafted experience. And I thought, like, considering the lore of the park about the backstory of these sort of financial, issues and stuff, I love that he went with the bobsled, because anyone who's ridden Avalanche at Blackpool, or indeed just built one of these in Roller Coaster Tycoon, knows these rides are an accident waiting to happen. It's like they never feel like they're up to code, and especially dodging pieces of scenery that's on the track. I just think, God, the most dangerous possible ride. It's such a funny choice. And yeah, no, you're totally right about that ruin theming at the end, going through the salamander or whatever kind of lizard it is. That's a really nice finishing touch.
Actually, thinking about it, it's probably a crocodile, isn't it?
It's a crocodile. Yeah.
Why didn't I think of that?
When it's just so obvious.
Yeah. So that was Bayou Bob's Bob. Really enjoyed that. Lovely bit of nature here. It's a really important thing to remember. People always try to like pack in the rides and the coasters and forget just to leave some areas.
Yeah, there's an art to it. Making these little quiet spaces for nature, and we've got to remember that since it's Pirate Park, we have to evoke the themes of sort of island, sort of Caribbean life. So stuff like this goes a long way.
When I opened this up the first time, I was trying to figure out what on earth this stood for, and then I realised that that's just the Welsh word for water. So that's our water shop, really nice. And notice I'm not going to try and pronounce it.
No, I think that's probably a good move.
Before we come around here, let's go back, because we've skipped our Hellion Ring, now called Golden Ring, and my goodness, look at this ride skin.
That is glorious. It's so easy with the Hellion Ring to try and do a sort of theme that's like around the actual circumference of the ring, but the giant treasure chest with the ring sort of poking out the top is actually really, really nice. Really
smart. And having the other jewellery and stuff, coins, just overflowing.
I love that the guests will get that sort of peek over the top as it gets to the top of the loop, so they'll be able to see out only at the top. That's a really cool idea.
Yeah. Here we have the Swan, or as it's now known, Secret. Stop. Now,
I'm intrigued.
I mean, we're obviously going to go in, right?
I think we better. There's no secrets on here.
Just peek in. Okay.
Oh.
The tax fund. Interesting. It looks like Wooden Legs has made a quick escape, I think.
I think so. I love the book burning of his records. That's excellent.
The vault's been emptied and he's gone. And behind us we have Yo Ho Go-Karts, which is a great name, just have to say. And you know what that means, Cockwaddle? I have to drive a go-kart again.
Oh boy, good luck.
Thank you, I'm gonna need it. Well, off to a flying start. I love this already. It already feels like it's taking you out of the park. You're going exploring and getting a wonderful 360 view by my driving.
Hey, that was quite a good recovery. I think you came back from that.
Just a bit of Tokyo drifting.
I think the whole of the go-kart bit is generally just giving me a good like low budget feel again. Do you know what I mean? Like they've let the sort of barrels and the sort of basic barriers do a lot of the work for it, which is exactly what you would imagine.
Yeah, I thought that was really good. Really sprawling across the park, which is nice. And as I said, it just felt like a nice little escape.
Yeah, and I really like that slightly sunken shipwreck as well. I think it interacts with the terrain really well. It gives it some good depth. That's well done.
Just using the curtains as the ripped sail. Very nice.
Yeah, I think that's something I need to do more of as well. That's a smart use of that, yeah.
And across the bridge will bring us to the Insanity with this wonderful lighthouse that we got a little peek of earlier. I really like that. It's kind of like cartoony in a way.
Yeah, it looks like a sort of watercolour painting lighthouse. It's nice.
Yeah, and we can only assume this is the Welsh for lighthouse. Again, not going to pronounce it. Yeah, just enclosing a ride in with just a little basic facade just goes a long way. And just behind us, we've got a little shop and a stage. Now, the stage says that Mr. Flopsy meetups have been cancelled, which makes me personally very sad.
That might be my favourite single view in the whole park. It's just this sad, empty meet and greet stage. It's just so apt.
Oh dear. So just coming back past Wooden Leg Whirl, heading down here, we've got Mr. Flopsy Flight.
I believe it's an SNS.
Look at you go. Yeah, these are, again, really fun coasters, so it works perfectly for Fuero's build style.
Completely agree. And that is a really nice interaction with the queue as well. It's like just grazing over their heads there.
Yeah. It reminds me, there's one brilliant interaction like that on 13 at Alton Towers. When you're in the queue, it comes right over your head. There's something quite nice about this image here of... So we're in the station now, obviously, with more of this lovely stained glass. But seeing the plane, my plane admin building through the glass of this overly themed station, I don't know, there's something quite nice about that. I don't know what it is.
You see it in a new light.
Yeah. Okay, let's hop on this coaster. Yeah, as expected, really fun, short, snappy, enjoyable. Callbacks to Flopsy, of course, everywhere. And it did feel like we were on a Flopsy flight.
Yeah, I think so. I thought it was a really good choice of particular coaster type. Like, it is an inverting coaster, but it's cheap, quite rickety. It looks, and I mean this in the best way, it looks painful. It looks like one of those coasters that's, it's not there, to be a sort of high budget, super deluxe experience. It's got a bit of a sort of old banger quality to it, and really, really nice, and keeps so close to the theming, which is exactly what you want with this sort of thing. Yeah,
it's got like a lovable jank to it.
Yes, that's the perfect phrase for it.
So the only thing left to do now is the walkthrough experience, which Fuero did say to leave till the end, and it's just through here. Let's do this.
I'm so excited.
Where's Moomin Wooden Legs? We've come for his arrest for tax fraud.
Well, he just took a utility car and went down the street towards the other exit.
I don't know what that accent was, Fuero, but I loved it.
I think that is Fuero's really hammed up Dutch accent. Like, he's been leaning more and more into the whole Dutch thing recently, and I think that's what that is.
Love it. So Wooden Legs has taken off in the utility car, so I assume we we follow him down. And there he
goes!
We'll catch him.
Drive, Mr. Flopsy, drive like the wind. I'm going as fast as I can.
And there we have Mr. Flopsy driving a utility car.
Oh my god, it's so silly. It's so silly.
It's just so Fuero.
It's so Fuero, yeah, you're right.
Spilling all of his money bags along the way. Oh no. Some very authentic British police cars.
Full shootout, bloody hell.
Oh no.
No! No!
I think we know why Mr. Flopsy's meetups were cancelled.
Oh, I'm heartbroken.
This is tragic. But let's listen to what happens, shall we?
Moomin Wooden Legs, halt, or we will shoot. Get away, Wooden Legs. I'll save you. Mr. Flopsy, no.
Oh.
This is an absolute tragedy.
I can't believe that this park tour is ending on such a tragic note.
I know. How on earth did he have the heart to kill off Mr. Flopsy? Oh dear. This is not a happy ending, is it?
This is sad.
Moomin Wooden Legs, you're under arrest. Have you got anything to say? Yes. I think I broke my arm.
Oh boy.
Oh
Okay.
boy.
I see.
Okay, well that's that then. Let's go.
That's a big shame. That's a big, big shame.
Well, I'm just going to do everyone a favour. Let's just get rid of that. And
Yeah.
here we go.
He's alive and well. See?
The law has been changed. He's floating, but he's... Mr. Flopsy has been resuscitated by Moomin Little Socks and Cockwaddle and is now alive again. So
Thank God.
take that, Fuero.
Thank God. Everything's okay again. Everything's
And,
fine.
Delete, delete, delete,
Yep.
delete. There we go. A happy ending after all.
Oh, I'm relieved.
So we'll just have a little fly around at night. Some really nice lighting down here. Using those, like an aqua blue with the warm lanterns is a really nice blend.
Indeed. Yeah, that's it's simply done and it's effective. It's good.
So, I mean, this park was everything I expected and more. Like, it's just got everything that we love about Fuero and his sense of humour, his playful style, just executed perfectly. Loved the whole storyline and all of the tax fraud subplot. Just brilliant. Yeah, loved it.
Yeah, I love it whenever a builder can imprint onto a park, not just their expression as a Planet Coaster builder, but them as a person, you know, and you can just see so much that is like so uniquely Fuero on this. Like, it's absolutely chock full of dad jokes and silly voices and like funny little cartoons, which, by the way, we should credit are really like, it's a really good looking art style. You know, it's one thing that's it's hard to recreate with art shapes, but it'd be hard to draw that, you know, like it takes artistic skills. So I think he's yeah, as I say, he's put his real life skills into the park in a big way, and it's made for a really unique and very, very funny experience.
So I'd like to say a huge thank you to Cockwaddle for joining me today. Make sure to keep tabs on your favourites ready for the public vote after all submissions have been showcased. Don't forget to like this video, not only to support me, but to show some love to today's creator. Catch you in the next one.